Okay, this meeting of the Westport Historical Commission is now open. Voting members present: Katrina Strozik, Ward Mooney, Deborah Ciolfi, Garrett Stuck, William Kendall. Mark Thompson is replacing Timothy Bryant, who's absent tonight, and Caroline Bolter. Okay, the first order of business is the minutes of December 3rd and, December 1st and November 3rd. Are there any comments on the minutes of November 3rd?
I have just typos that I'll correct on the drive, but not worth mentioning.
Okay.
Spelling errors and things.
If there are no other comments, do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve the minutes of November 3rd.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. On to the minutes of December 1st. I noticed one typo, and that is Bill Chase's name. It's spelled with a C, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Sorry about that.
correct that.
That's all the time.
Any other comments? Do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve the notes of the meeting of November 1st.
This
Second.
is December.
Second.
December 1st.
Okay, moved by Caroline, seconded by Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, next item is the treasurer's report. There is no treasurer's report this month. So on to applications for certificate of appropriateness. First item is 2061 Main Road, which is the Harbor Master Building, presented by Bill Chase.
Well, good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. First of all, I want to thank Deb Ciolfi and Betty Slade for their initial guidance in this project. I think I noted at the previous meeting here that I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to projects such as this. And Deb and Betty have been a pretty strong guiding force for me so far. So I just wanted to make that public, and thank you very much, Deb. All we're looking for, and I think you all have the application and the pictures that I sent along. All we're looking for in this project is to basically rehab the building with the same materials in the same condition that it was in when it was originally constructed. We are thinking about raising the building up 18 inches. That was as of Deb's guidance. I believe 18 inches can happen without any further review. And I guess if your question is why would you choose to raise it, I guess my answer would be, in an age of rising sea levels, why wouldn't you? So I think the 18 inches should be part of the package. Aside from that, we simply would like to replace the roof shingles, the cedar shingles on the siding, the trim and the doors and windows in the same construction that they are right now. One issue that I cannot answer for you right now that I think you may have questions on is in regard to the heating system. Currently, the building has no heat. So we have asked a couple of contractors to give us some quotes on a heat pump. That means there would be some external machinery on the outside of the building. As far as where that could go, that machinery, if it was on the west side of the building, you would not see it from the street. You'd only see it from the water, actually. It could go on the north side, but unfortunately, on the north side of the building, just inside of that is a beautiful mural inside of the shack, and I would hesitate to destroy that. So if you haven't seen it before, it's worth a look. So if we can, we'll have that heat pump installed on the west side of the building out of sight if that is approved. Aside from that, I simply want to rehab the building and bring it back to its original condition. with a little bit of elevation, just because, I guess. That's all we're asking for, folks. Nothing major, just a rehab.
Who owns the building?
Town of Westport.
Oh, thank you.
This is actually a town office.
So if you raise the building 18 inches, what will you do about the steps there?
I think it might have been Tim Gillespie.
It was Tim.
Yeah, who said, why don't you just take this a step at a time, get the building rehabbed first, and then let's worry about the ADA compliance part of it, which is gonna have to be addressed at some point. Currently, the steps to the front door are 2 pieces of granite, actually 3. So clearly it is not in compliance. I have had discussions with a gentleman from the Mass Office of Disability who was adamant that that building must have handicap accessibility. And the reason is because it's a town office. People come in there for information, for permitting, so on and so forth. So as such, it does have to become ADA compliant. But I think Tim's words were spot on. Let's address the building first, and then let's worry about the ADA part of it second.
Just to add to that, I was at that CPC meeting that you're talking about when Tim made that suggestion. Tim thought that perhaps if you could get permission from your neighboring land, that one of those metal ramps could be installed that goes like 2 switchbacks to get a wheelchair, say, up into the building. And it might traverse land that you don't actually own, or the town owns. So that would have to be a whole other process to get that done. But Tim had suggested do one of these metal, we've all seen them in these front doors. They're removable, they're not permanent ramps.
And part of the problem is we sit on such a small footprint.
Yeah.
Right, so if you raise it up 18 inches, now you've got to add 18 feet, is it, to
It's
the length of
1
it?
foot per inch.
Foot per inch, right, so,
Yeah. Well, that's one of my concerns about like putting off that aspect of the project is you might discover that for example, raising the building 18 inches makes it impossible or much harder to provide that access.
well, I would say this, Mr. Chair, that the only place that that ramp could probably go is in the only 2 parking spaces we have available to us.
Right.
And with the parking wars that go on down there on a seasonal basis, that would require some adjustment. But I think that's probably the only place we could do it.
For me personally, having been a client of the Harbor Master, I have never stepped foot in the building to conduct business because it is so small. Typically, in my experience, what's happened is I go to the door, I knock, maybe I hand a check, maybe I hand some paperwork, but you know, it's not, I mean, I can see the mural from the outside, but I, as a member of the public, don't enter the shack to do business. And so I guess I'm not familiar enough with compliance laws or any of that, but I just also am really curious about why that person made that statement.
When you do a certain level of improvements, you trigger ADA compliance, and these would clearly trigger ADA compliance because it's a certain dollar amount of improvements and an overall, adjustment to the overall building. But you can apply for a waiver.
Yes.
So you could use this as a potential reason why you don't need access, because you could create a window or a drop-off box or something else that is accessible that's outside the building.
Well,
That's possible.
that came up in the discussion with this gentleman. He said you can't apply for a waiver, but the town would have to declare it a non-public building. So those are steps that we haven't really even considered yet, but that is a possibility.
And then you have the problem, if it's a non-town building, CIPC funding would not be available to you. So you have this catch-22. So you've got to do this one step at a time. This is why Betty said it's so complicated.
Yes.
So,
There's some fighting that out.
There are many ramps that you can deal with, but we also have a lift. And I'm fairly certain that lifts are now weatherproof so that they can be used in becoming compliant, even if it's not very often used. And it would be much more modest in terms of the real estate that it takes up.
That would solve the small footprint problem.
But if you had the stair to the side, one side, and the lift to the other, I think you could probably retain a little bit of the character without having so much of a ramp just taking out of view for all intents and purposes.
Well, I think that's why this really needs to be a two-part project, because options like you just mentioned are still issues that we have to explore. But when it comes to wrangling town money, as far as I'm concerned, and again, as a novice, you get it when you can get it. So we have, and I don't know how closely you all follow the CIP issues, I suspect you do. The $100,000 that I had asked for had passed CIPC. They sent the recommendation along to the select board. Monday night, they approved it, they gave it their stamp, and they sent it along to the finance committee. So after finance, it's town meeting, and that's the end of it. As far as I'm concerned, if it gets past finance, you have to think you got a pretty good shot at town meeting after that. So I'm becoming a little bit more optimistic, pending your vote tonight, that this project can happen, but I do believe it has to happen in two phases.
You
One
might
is
be
the
able to
one
also
the
deal with
reconstruction.
a master plan that gives you a certain, if you sign on to the master plan, a certain pace that is affordable for however your fundraising goes. But that might mean that you could do everything necessary urgently and then carry on as the master plan, if it's approved, over 2 or 3 years.
It's a long-term project. This is not just rebuilding a shack. Obviously, there's so much to this. But again, I think this is why we have to take it in stages.
Is there a parking issue?
We have 2 spaces.
Yes.
The rest of it, of course, this time of year, there's plenty of parking. August is another story.
Right.
And there's never enough parking. So again, the small footprint that we're on kind of dictates where we go with this. We had some ideas early on, and Deb will tell you that once we had the CIPC tentatively approved, then I'm thinking, okay, if we get money from them, if we get money from CPC, wow, we could do something great. I think that's a bridge too far in reality. So I think just keeping it simple, rehab the building, raise it up a little bit, is the smartest and most reasonable way to go.
Well, CPC does fund lifts. We did that at Howland Hall. CPC is paying for a portion of the lift that will be installed there. So you could, if you did have the requirement, say a year from now, you went through this 18-inch lift and then, the building, and then you found you couldn't get a waiver and the town didn't want to say it's okay not to be accessible, then maybe you get a new grant for CPC for a lift. If it's a smaller, footprint, and if you need it. There's also the question, do you need a lift? Do you need to have accessibility if you can find a workaround of either a mailbox or a drop-off box? If you have a box at the town hall that people can bring their things to, that's accessible. Then if they have to be in the building on a regular basis, say you had somebody who was disabled who wanted to work there, they'd have to get in. So that would be a different question. You have to provide access to somebody who actually worked there who was disabled. So there's a different requirement then. So you have to sort of, like you said, take it one step at a time. I think that's prudent.
Yeah, so I think our scope of oversight is really about the exterior appearance and appropriateness. So maybe we could just go through those items and make sure that we're all in agreement. So I'm looking here at this estimate from a contractor, and so it lists a few things. So you're planning to use,
Here's some
do
other,
you have another?
this one, and
Okay.
then there's this.
Planning to use PVC trim with Cortex fasteners. I don't know what those are.
I don't either. Well, as far as, you're asking a question about the trim?
I'm asking, I mean, I think we need to take a look at the materials you're proposing to use. I mean, the windows, the doors,
I think
the
he
trim.
spec'd the window as a
And-
Marvin window, it's on the other
Yeah, this
page.
is spec'd as a Marvin window, so,
Well, I would say this, Mr. Chair, that those two
That's the HVAC.
estimates came early on in this project, before I knew much about prevailing wage and everything else that has to play into it. Now, pending approval of all this, it's going to have to go out for bid, and prevailing wage is going to have to play into it. So those numbers, and even the materials, I would say, are subject to change, pending your approval, of course. So again, those were just early estimates when we started this project. I've obviously learned a lot since then. And again, the prevailing wage is going to change those numbers significantly. I did not, when these two gentlemen came down to do these original estimates, I did not specify anything to them. I just said, we want to replace what we have here. Now, I know that trim is not plastic, it's wood because it's rotting away. My approach, again, is just to replace it with the materials that it currently has.
What I see here is two things that should be specified when you go further with this. When you put your specifications together for the final quote, the one that would concern us would be, well, PVC trim has been used in the district, but it has to be painted. One of the reasons is because the edge has a raw edge on it. It's a cellular PVC, so it's got a different surface on the edge. And it will weather differently. What I mean is will get mold on it or whatever. And so usually you paint the PVC trim, it holds very, very well with 100% acrylic paint. And also the fasteners, I don't know what these fasteners are, but you usually use stainless steel nails. And then you putty the nails also because they'd show if it wasn't painted. So I think you would put that in there. If you're going to use PVC trim, that would be acceptable to us. I believe it. I don't know what the rest of the people feel. It is a substitute material that is very durable, and it's been proven. The other thing is the windows. I think you have chosen the Marvin window. It doesn't specify what Marvin window. It would be is it the Elevate? Which is, it's fiberglass on the outside, excellent wood on the inside. But also you would specify that it be simulated true divided light.
It'll be 12 over 12s, right?
Yeah,
It'd
that
be
would
similar
be
to
simulated.
that's what's
If
there
he's
now.
going to do it exactly like that, of course, 9 over 9 would be acceptable too,
Oh, okay.
which would fit in with the type of window that's in the district and on that particular kind of building. So those just are the two things that I see here. The rest of it is all pretty much, clear what's going to be done, what's going to be done on it.
And the door too? This is the door.
Well, the door's a fiberglass door like that. I mean, that's fine.
Is that sufficiently specified here?
The door is,
Fiberglass, 2-panel 9 lights.
Garrett,
so those are the only specifications that I think we're concerned with.
And the siding.
Wood
Shingles.
shingle siding and
yeah, and then
Cedar.
the roofing material. I guess I just want to be clear in terms of, my understanding is we want to be able to approve the project so that there's eligibility for funding. But because we don't have specific materials yet, would that be monitor discretion, or would that be we can come back and discuss the specific materials once they know? Like, what would be our,
Yeah, I mean, usually we would require
everything?
specific, I mean, we're really concerned about the appearance and I know you want to do what's similar to what's there already, but there's a lot of variation in what that means to different people. So that's why we like to have, a specific window manufacturer, specific model of window. Same with the doors. The trim, as Bill said, PVC is probably going to be okay with the commission as long as it's painted. But we want to see that in the specs that it will be painted. In terms of other aspects of the appearance, the placement of that condenser, the heat pump, would be of interest to us. And the other thing about that is, if there's going to be any piping run on the outside of the building, we would discourage that. We'd rather see that piping run inside the building.
Inside. So would I.
Yeah. But generally, it's we're concerned about the appearance and the specific windows and doors that are going to be used. The roofing material, we actually don't have jurisdiction over that.
What is specified?
What's specified is architectural shingles.
Oh.
In black, I believe, is it? Or,
The color is not specified.
I think on the
Does
other,
that mean
the other one.
asphalt or?
Yeah.
Just regular shingles, yeah.
Yeah. That's what's there now? Is
It's
asphalt?
black asphalt.
Yeah, like asphalt, yeah. So,
I guess I'm just wondering, given the circumstances,
how do we get to?
how specific do we need to be?
Right,
We can approve with the condition that the monitors have, or the chair and the clerk have the ability to, or, something, so it's like and I don't know if that's allowed, to do a conditional approval so that, Harbor Master Chase can
Possibly an either or.
go get what he needs, but that
Right.
once we know more about the specifics, then we can approve.
Well, let's talk about the timing for a second, because you're not going to be in front of the CPC tomorrow. That's already been withdrawn, right? So there's not as big a rush. When is the town meeting
I believe it's May
approval
15th.
process?
May 15th, I believe,
May?
is town meeting.
So you have between now and May to get your bids identified with the specifics?
Well, we're kind of wondering if now is the time to start putting it out for bid, or if it's a little too early. I have to get together with our new town administrator to discuss that. But that obviously would require specifics.
Right, so these specs that we're talking about tonight could be part of your bid package. That has to be painted PVC, Marvin window, elevate, 9/9 or 12/12. Like, list all those things, the type of cedar shingles, the type of door, and that is in your bid package. And then it comes back, and you can come back in front of us with an actual bid that has those things. And you would, I think, likely get an approval, because you're hearing what we would approve, right?
Right.
So
I'm just wondering if we can get there tonight.
if we can,
So,
that would be great.
I think you raise a good possibility that we could approve something, for example,
Mark
the
up the
door,
document.
the door, in this estimate, fiberglass, 2-panel, 9 light. So we could approve that, and then we could we're going to appoint 2 monitors to keep track of your project. They would have to approve a specific choice. So you would actually give us a catalog number, catalog cut, and we would say, the monitors would then say, okay, that satisfies that satisfies our concerns. But we want to know, the precise model of door and window that you're using. With the windows, right, we would want, similar. Bill, could you propose some?
Well, it would be, if they're using a Marvin window, this quote is for a Marvin window.
Yeah.
And a Marvin window is a very good window, certainly expensive as well. That you would use the Marvin Elevate with a SDL window, sash, which is pretty simple. Also, it has 12 over 12, or not 12 over 12, but whatever it is there.
It's currently 12 over 12.
Yeah,
It's 12 over 12 now, but you said 9 over 9 would also be
It would,
acceptable.
and it's less expensive
Yeah, less
to
lights.
do the 9 over 9. So that would be perfectly fine.
Mhm.
So with just those things, I think we can go ahead. I think it was a good idea to do it that way, and the monitors can certainly, if if you have a question about it, resolve that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done work in the field with the monitors that is as significant as this, so.
Right.
I do have some questions about the elevating the building. How many times in the last 10 years have the waters come up to the floorboards in the existing shack?
I can't actually answer that question. I think one thing that is obvious, regardless of what that number is, it's come close enough many times. I guess is the best way I can put it. It
Yeah.
gets closer
I
and
just,
closer all
I
the
feel like it is a lot of extra money for the town or others to give. And while I do agree that it's happening, is it something that can be done 10 years from now where, we handle the outside, make it weather tight, make it more comfortable with the, the HVAC, and then when the time comes, raise the building accordingly, as opposed to trying to do it all at once and complicating a lot of other factors that also increase the money.
I certainly would not object to that. It makes total sense. I hadn't considered that. To me, it's kind of all or nothing is the way I've been thinking about it.
Yeah,
Again, I don't disagree with that approach.
yeah,
I wish I had that magic number, like it needs to be raised X amount of inches to prevent flooding for so many years, but it's anybody's guess.
right.
What would your feeling be if we had a bad hurricane, Hurricane Carol?
Well, Mr. Mooney, there are actually a couple of, there are 4 large eyes that are sunk into concrete that are in the ground. And I believe it was Chip Gillespie's thinking that if we have an event like that, we could strap the thing down and just hope for the best. That's probably all we could do at this point.
I have a suggestion. This is too far out, but in Venice, they have solved the problem. They put a rubber membrane underneath they take up the floor, they put brand new tiles down in shops that you would go into, or hotel rooms that I've been in that have been on the lower floor, which they don't do that very much. But what happens is that they have this rubber membrane, they build everything around it, up the sides, and then in the door, they have a stainless steel dam that they put across with little clamps, and it holds it. I mean, I've seen the water this high, and above the floor, and it's dry inside.
That building would probably float away.
It would.
You need to make it out of stone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in Venice.
Well, Mr. Kendall, to your point, I think some kind of moisture barrier under the building, regardless of where we go,
Right.
is
Yeah.
appropriate.
Good idea.
So I don't see the raising of the building on the estimates here, is that?
It is not part of the estimate, Mr. Chair.
Do you think that would be an expensive part of the project? I mean, Katrina, you were concerned about the cost.
I really don't, and I'll tell you why. Basically, the electricity comes into the building. There's a huge plug. You can think of a large short power connection. That's the power that comes in. That could literally be decoupled. The building sits on 6 concrete pillars. So there are 2 rows of 3, and there are longitudinals that connect all of them. So to raise the building would be fairly easy, just to get something under there and hydraulic jacks to lift it up along those longitudinals. So I don't see that as a big financial burden.
It also sounds like it's something that could be done later. I mean,
Yeah.
if it is that easy,
Could also be done later.
it could be done
And
later.
stage it. I think one of the concerns that came up when you were presenting earlier was whether or not there's already rot under there. That hasn't been tested yet.
Well, as far as, so we had the town building inspector down. That might have been before the last meeting, before you folks. He did a cursory look and basically said, you should probably find an engineering firm to inspect it. Well, you know, Rick and I have looked under it as well. Doesn't take an engineer to see what's under there.
Yeah.
My read on it is that it's in fairly decent shape underneath. What is an issue is in the interior flooring, which obviously is not within the purview of this discussion. So there may be some work to do inside on the plywood floor, which is all it is, just plywood. So I think the building, that side, is in decent enough shape. Now, I have to kind of add a little caveat to that. Anytime you go into a project like this and you start pulling shingles off, you don't know what you're going to find under it. So we know full well that there could be other issues, but those are interior structural matters, at least in my view.
When was the structure built?
2002, I believe.
And it's plywood walls, and
Yes.
it should be good.
It should be.
If they used a Tyvek or something on it.
Yeah, we just don't, I don't know what's under it, Mr.
Yeah.
Kendall. That's the big mystery, really.
Okay.
And the design was Bill Gillespie's, right?
Yeah, it was Chip Gillespie who
Yeah, so
designed it.
I'm sure that the specs were pretty good then.
Yeah, I remember Chip. He was an engineer of some repute, so I'm sure it was built well.
I guess my perception too is, you know, if there are rising waters, the Harbor Master Shack where it exists may not be the right location for it. And I think that, you know, spending the money to raise the building, and if that triggers ADA additional costs, but in reality, is that something that's going to happen in 5 years, 20 years? And when it does, raising the building 18 inches may not actually be enough based on everything else that happens down the point. So I guess it's a shack. I mean, it's a garden shed. It really is. I know it's a town building and it's a town office and we get to make it comfortable and we get to be responsible. But I guess I don't want to over-engineer and overbuild this building.
Right. But I'm not sure this is within our purview. I mean, if we think it's not appropriate to raise it. Right?
I
mean,
think it would be an eyesore to raise it 18 inches and, well, because the rising tide is going to happen.
Okay, well, that would bring it, I mean, if we think it would be an eyesore, I mean, that would bring it within our purview. How do other people feel about that?
Well, it always could be raised in the future.
It could be raised.
I
in
mean,
the
And
it's
it
just
could
a
be
shack,
raised,
you know, that
yeah.
thing is easy to raise up. So I would think about it as a future project, if the problem is
So
there.
take the raising up of the shack off the table for this certificate.
It makes it,
Makes it
your
easier.
project so much more simple.
Mark, you had some, oh, sorry, Caroline, go ahead.
If you were not to raise the building, does that alleviate the problem of wheelchair access? I mean, at the moment.
No,
there's
it's still not accessible. You still can't get a wheelchair in there. It's 3
No,
steps
you
up
can,
on
but I
granite.
mean, presumably the fact that it doesn't have wheelchair access
It
might
already
be
is.
grandfathered in.
Yeah, it's already not accessible.
Yeah, so I don't see that, we can take that issue off the table.
Well, we don't know if he might have to face that when he goes to get permits because he's triggering ADA compliance in a town building. That's the issue that he has to deal with. That's not really us.
But doing less
is
more,
better.
it makes it more likely that you won't trigger
Yeah, it could be
that,
grandfathered.
that provision.
Oh, yeah,
Everything
I would-
else you're talking about doing, it really is cosmetic.
Yeah,
So.
And I would add to that, Mr. Chair, doing less and then doing the rest in steps, I think is the logical approach to this.
Mhm.
I'd
Mark,
like
you
to
were
take
gonna-
the opposite view. We had to raise, we have a little boathouse, just about the same size. And we did raise it about 2 feet. But it was in relation to a pier that also is on the property. And the contractor, I asked, well, I was naive, this was 12, 13 years ago. I was naive about it. And the pier was being overlapped fairly frequently. Well, we did raise the pier and the boathouse 2 feet. And the water since that, in the last dozen years, has raised significantly. That we don't necessarily see it if it's not vulnerable. But we now think maybe we didn't raise it high enough. And the problem with not raising it now is that you're going to then both have the cost, which will be much greater, relatively speaking, but you'll also have a situation where you probably won't do it until the boathouse itself is damaged by waters. And so we'll go through another rehabilitation as well as the raising. So it's hard to think about this, but I think it would save money now and a significant amount of money later if we raised it at this time and really prepared.
Mark, you raise an interesting point, and that is about the rest of about the pier itself. And you know, in the long term, something will probably have to be done about that as well.
Yeah.
And so it may be that, you know, sometime in the future, the pier itself gets raised, built up, and then everything down there
Yeah.
gets built up.
It's
So
a significant issue. And
it's a
the
big
fill
issue.
to make that all work, and the retaining walls are a major cost.
Yeah.
So is it the right site? I'd also ask one question. If you're going to go and have some sort of a motor and a lift, and also the condenser, is there sufficient power currently there? Because that will be a budget item if it's not the case.
I should know the answer to that, sir, but I do not. There is a small panel inside the building. There is a pole right outside of the building, so I would imagine that amperage could be increased either through whatever means, you know, they would use for it. But to answer the question, is there enough power inside the building right now to power both a chairlift and a heat pump? I think the answer to that is probably no. So that would require some additional.
Your budget. It's cautionary, so that something more worthwhile isn't cut to be able to do what we would like to do.
well, our job is just to specify where he would install the heat pump on the exterior of the building.
Absolutely,
How far up should he install it off the ground and hide any pipes that we build in the interior. So do you have a recommendation on how high up he should install the exterior heat pump condenser?
Well, you'd have to, you know, if we have a lift and not a ramp, then it
I'm
can
just
be.
talking about the condenser that he is going to do. He's doing an HVAC.
Sorry?
He's doing an HVAC system. He's going to be putting in a heat pump.
Right.
And
But
it's going to be on the exterior of the building, on the west side. That's what we discussed earlier. So the
Yeah.
question I have for you is how high up off the ground should that heat pump be against the building? Because we want to also protect the heat pump equipment.
Yeah.
So 24
That-
inches,
that-
30 inches, I don't know.
They're precast units that actually provide that, so you can do it just according to those.
But we should have a range as monitors to know, did he install it in the right general location?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you're going on piers, for one thing, you're going to need stability because the wind and the water is going to be a particular structural issue. And if you want to go before the board and get approval, I mean, we're way out of our responsibility here, but all of those things need to be taken into account, obviously.
So,
But to answer your question, I think you just use the precast units and because it's not an uncommon problem.
Okay.
So you said that it wouldn't be possible to put that unit on the north side of the house because,
Oh, it is possible, but
Oh.
but you would see it. You'd see it from the road. If it's on the west side, you're not gonna see it from street view.
You'll see it from the
So-
water.
That was my
could
only
it go
comment.
behind the porta potty?
It could go behind the infamous porta potty, yes.
Because that's probably not going to go away.
Right, but again, my original comment was, if we can avoid that, destroying that beautiful mural inside, I'd love to be able to say, okay, let's not destroy the
Would you have
mural.
to destroy it, or could you run the piping under the building to wherever you need it to come into the building?
That's a good question.
Uh-huh.
I would hope that that's the case,
Mhm.
but some of the other heat pumps that I've seen installed are somewhat invasive in the interior. So it was just kind of an assumption that if it's on the north side, then that will get destroyed.
Yeah, well, that'd be worth checking out, I think, because it is kind of a nice view from the west side, from the water.
That's the east, here's the west.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful view.
Yeah, it's a nice view. Kind of nice to keep that view from the water. Um,
So is the recommendation to go for the north side
To-
if possible? Is that
If possible.
the recommendation? That's this
that's what I-
plain, very plain wall elevation, the north side.
Yeah.
Do we need a heat
Does the mural
pump?
on the inside go to the ground, or is it raised off the ground? And where's the bottom? How far off the ground is the mural?
It goes down to the top of my desk, which is probably at
Well,
Just
you could certainly
pretty
have
steep. Yeah.
a heating unit put in that would be below
Mm.
it. And
And not just-
I did rather recently in my living room, and you almost don't see it. It just looks like a radiator.
It's
You know, it's
some-
not one of
something
these big
to,
things.
So
Something
something
to
to consider,
explore,
to put on
yeah.
the north side, and then you can hide it on the interior.
So your preference, I take it, would be to put it on the
Sounds
north
like a
side?
preference.
that would be my preference.
I
yeah.
think that's very important.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, well,
Okay,
this,
so can we summarize the spec?
well,
and-
let's open the public hearing, because
Okay.
this does require a public hearing. So, public hearing is now open. Are there any comments from the public? Hearing none, I close the public hearing. Further comments, discussion from the commission? So if I could just summarize where I think we are, or leading, is to basically accept your proposal to do like for like, where that will mean PVC, painted PVC trim, where you're replacing the trim. It will mean a two-panel, here we go, two-panel fiberglass door with 9 lights. Particular model, specific model to be approved by the monitors.
Mhm.
And then replacement windows, which will be Marvin Elevate windows.
These are not replacement windows, they're new windows.
New
right?
windows, new windows.
Yeah.
Okay, Marvin Elevate windows, either 9/9 or
12 over
12/12. Specific model to be approved by the monitors.
Mhm.
And the SDL glass,
SDL glass, okay.
so the simulated two divided light.
Simulated.
Okay.
Okay, and then the final thing is the
placement of
the heat pump
heat pump.
to be placed on the north side of the building if possible, otherwise on the west side.
Or maybe monitor to review?
Reviewed by monitors.
Did you say either 9x9 or 12x12?
Yes.
9/9 or 12 over 12
For the windows.
for the windows.
Right.
And the heat pump on the north side if possible, or west side if needed.
Yes, and no exterior piping. for
No
the,
exterior piping visible.
For the heat pump.
And shingles,
Shingles, just white cedar.
white
cedar,
cedar.
White cedar shingles.
They could use yellow cedar as well.
lead cedar or yellow cedar?
It's better.
East-
Yellow cedar is much better,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
more expensive though.
And
And as far as raising
We're gonna
the
table
building, we'll take that off the table for
But
now?
let's, yeah, it almost sounds like, Mr. Chair, that we should just kind of, again, take it in steps.
Right.
That would be
So we're
another
gonna table
step.
the raising of the building for now. And the handicap access, that's kind of your hunt. We don't know what kind of waiver you might get or grandfathered in because you're not making a change to the way you enter now. So you might be grandfathered
Our beautiful granite steps.
with the granite steps as they are if you leave them. So we're not gonna address the ADA issue.
No, it's not our scope.
Okay?
Any comments on this suggested list of specs?
Anything else?
Or your motion?
motion to
Is there anything to vote on?
I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness with this spec that we just discussed.
I second it.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote.
Katrina Strozak, aye.
We're going in.
Deborah Chiaffi, aye.
Garrett Stuck, aye.
William Kendall, aye.
Mark Thompson, aye.
Carolyn Bolger, aye.
Okay.
We're approved.
Thank you all.
I love the building. Every time in the beginning of the summer when I
That was
walk
good
in,
to hear.
I know that my boat
Subject
is
to.
getting get ready.
Okay,
This
so
is fun enough.
we need monitors.
Katrina, do you want to monitor with me?
Sure.
Okay. two of
Okay.
us.
Deborah Chiolfi and Katrina Strozak are monitors.
So, let me ask a novice question. This certificate of appropriateness, will it have all the details that Deb just listed?
Yeah, I wrote it on the back of the sheet, which is your application. I'm going to attach this to your certificate and submit that to the building department
Okay, so then we could use those specifications for the bid
for your
process?
bid process.
Yeah, okay.
And we should have Bill sign that. Or
We need to
in-
everybody-
Initial that.
Bill and others should sign this part, and I'll add that as
But
a.
Bill Chase, the harbor master, should also initial
Yes,
this,
because
these
that's
changes.
part of his
Yeah.
application. Right. But it's part of our approval, so.
And then as monitors, we'll just help as, things go out to bid and you get specifics, then we can approve. And if we're not comfortable, we can go to the chair, but we'll be able to do that without having to come back here, as long as it stays within, what was agreed.
Bill, can you sign the bottom of that? Because that's part of your application now.
Afraid I need it.
Alrighty,
And,
got you.
and Bill Kendall is our window expert, so if you have any questions
Sounds like he is.
about windows, that's probably, we specified
I think that's
Marvin, but
pretty well done.
there's probably other possibilities too that could be,
Well, there are.
uh,
But I think that's a good choice as far as price and so on.
And you can, let us know if you end up with a different window, and then we bring it in if we need to.
Yeah.
So,
Or if for some reason the price point is, oh my gosh, these windows are crazy, Marvin has tariffs, or something, then we can work with you to come up with an alternative.
all right, so I'll issue the certificate and get it into the online process, and I can email you a copy. Okay, but the building department will have it.
Well, if there's nothing else, thank you all.
thank you.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck. Okay.
I don't remember if the fee was in
Hmm.
I did notice it for the pay, for the public notice.
The waiver fee for the town?
I think we can wait. As long as they let us hire a call. Okay, so, I want to give you this check too. This is from Richard Natale, who's our next guest.
Okay,
All right.
next item is 1871 Main Road, Richard Di Natale, replace windows in cottage.
Good evening. My wife and I are here to hopefully get approval for the replacement of the windows on the accessory building to cottage at the rear of the house. And I think, Garrett, you had a chance to go over and take a look at it. I submitted plans, my architect drew up. I sent them to Deb about a week or two ago. And we're looking to do like for like on the windows. Right now, on the front, which would be the east side of the building, you'll see that there are 3/0 on the windows.
You don't want that one.
He's not replacing these.
speakers aren't working.
He's not replacing these windows.
Guess it wasn't that.
Oh,
But those, I think,
that's what he's
this is
talking
what you're planning to put in, the 3/1s, is that,
Yeah, it's gonna be like for like. Those are the ones that are there now,
okay.
okay? And depending, I may not even replace those two front ones.
Mhm.
There are
What
no,
side is the front side?
the front is the entrance,
Entrance, okay, the interior view of the front entrance.
and that's gonna be the main
301.
road side.
All right, yeah. You just said
So you're
two different
replacing
things.
a window unit then?
The whole unit.
So as I understand, you're replacing the windows on the sides.
There are no windows on the sides.
These are just storms.
They're just storms,
Only storms, so there are no windows. So,
correct.
So this is where the windows will be.
Okay.
And when those old windows were removed, I mean, what exactly, so it looks like they left the sill.
I can tell you what happened.
Right.
When we purchased the property, it was in July of 2016, and the windows were there, and it was, you go in there, it was 110 degrees. I took the windows out because they don't open. If they open, we'd still have them. They're just one whole unit. And I decided that I didn't need them. I was just gonna, at some point, replace them with like-for-like type windows. And 10 years later, I just never did. But now, since we're doing the main house over, I want to do the accessory building, the cottage over as well. So the plan is to put like-for-like windows. In the side windows, they didn't have 3/0, but there were 2/0. And you should see a photo there, because I found a photo that I took of the property in July of 2016, and you're going to see the existing windows that were there.
Wait,
They're not 3/3, they're 2/0. They're not 3/0, they're 2/0.
can you?
I can show you.
Which one is that? That's the 2/1.
You can see.
Oh, do we have that one?
You should
Okay,
have.
let's see.
I can tell you.
I don't see
It's
that.
gonna be-
I have your whole packet. Is that it? No.
Is there something down?
Okay, it's just a
It's a whole
duplicate set.
different landscape. You can look, you can have this.
Yeah, I don't seem to have that one image that you're referring
There's three here.
to. Okay,
You
so
can look
there's, just pass those around. You don't seem to have that one.
Yeah, it's not online, Deb.
I did a packet to
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, it's not part of the packet.
It's not,
That wasn't in the package?
no. All right,
Actually,
so we've got it now. We're looking at it now. It's 2/1.
So, Richard, when you say you took out the windows, did you just take out the sashes?
It's just a window, the whole unit.
They didn't open.
The windows didn't open. They weren't double hung, if that's what you call it. In other words, the bottom doesn't lift up. It was just one gigantic unit, one whole unit. Now, if you look on the west side of the building, there's one window there, and it's 3/3. And that's, so there's three types of windows in that cottage when we purchased the property. You have, the front was 3/0, the sides 2/0, in the back 3/3.
Sounds very Westport.
I'm sorry?
Sounds very Westport.
Yes, it does. In the back was a double hung. It opened, and it's still there, but it doesn't match the front.
Okay.
So what we're looking to do is, and I think I submitted it, the renovation on the main building, we're going to be using the Anderson 400 series. The double hung, there's gonna be wood on the inside and the wood Fibrex on the outside of the window, which was already approved by the board last year at this time.
Right, so you're renovating your main house and we.
Yeah,
approved-
yeah, and
approved
that's, yeah,
Right.
that was approved last year.
Right. So you're gonna use the same line.
I'm gonna use the same line, and it's gonna be like for like. In other words, what you're gonna see is the 3/0 on the front, the 2/0 on the sides, and I'm gonna change out most likely the rear, because it's 3/3, I'm gonna make it similar to the front. And that's gonna be 3/0,
Yeah.
3/0. So like for like.
And the store windows will go away? Is that the idea?
You know, I haven't thought about that yet,
Uh-huh,
to be honest with you.
uh-huh.
They usually do go away.
Right,
Yeah,
because
you
of-
know,
because of
just
the new
Yeah.
better
windows.
windows.
Yeah, you know, I never,
Yeah.
I just never thought of that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
The insulation is better and you won't necessarily use the storm.
And the whole idea is, you know, we love having the windows open, and we just couldn't do it in the other, and, you know, with the way it was set up before.
Well, I think it's a good proposal. I have no problem with it.
Thank you.
I
Is
think
it
it's been well
Anderson?
thought out
Yeah.
and well presented. and-
Great.
And they'll match the house too,
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah,
Anderson.
it's clearly gonna match the house, and, you know, I'm still waiting to, you know, wanna know what's going on the main house. I'm still waiting for, proposals from 2 contractors. It's been a while. My structural engineer was hospitalized over the summer, so that kind of put things in the back burner. And once he came through, was able to get the construction plans done. And now I'm just waiting. And one of the contractors suggested, he said, Rich, you should do whatever you're gonna do with the cottage, the accessory building, and that's what we're gonna do. Gonna get it all done at once.
Motion to approve?
Uh,
No,
We
public
need
hearing.
we need a public hearing,
Yes.
so.
Open the hearing
um,
first.
Public hearing is now open. Any members of the public like to comment? Hearing no comments, I close the public hearing.
Excellent.
And any further discussion?
Motion
I
to
think it's a
approve?
good proposal, and it's consistent with the house, which is great to have that look across that property.
I think it's fun that you're keeping it like for like, that you're not making all the windows the same, and because it's part of the charm of that little cottage. So I love that you're doing
And
that.
one of the things the architect said is that the panes, the reason why they did that, because I didn't quite get why they had 3/0 on the front and 2/0 on the sides, they want to keep the panes all even.
Oh,
And I said, well, that makes sense.
Hmm.
So, and that's what I want to do,
rhythm to it. So,
keep it even.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
I second it.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote.
Katrina Strozak, aye.
Ward Mooney, aye.
Deborah Chialfi, aye.
Garrett Stock, aye.
William Kendall, aye.
Mark Thompson, aye.
Caroline Boger, aye.
Thank you
Okay.
all. I
Approved.
appreciate it. You can have the photos, and
Thanks.
I don't know if it's the same people that are going to be assigned to the major
For
preservation.
the
that-
monitors, I can look up who the monitors are
Yes,
for the
let's-
other.
let's
Keep it
do have the same people.
I just did the monitors report for tonight, let me grab it. And then we need to sign his application to approve it.
There was one other thing, Deb, and I think I included it, was I was thinking of changing the front door on that as well.
Okay, here's the front door, 3 over this panel type. What did you have in mind? You didn't put that
And
in your application.
I thought I put it on the list, and if I didn't, it's not,
Just about windows, but you can talk about it now.
yeah, no, I
There's a
will.
storm door over it, and there's three windows across, and I don't know how many.
I took a photo of, I replaced the doors on the main house several years ago. And the door, we want to use the same door that we have on the side entrance to the front of that. and it was approved before, and I don't understand why.
Well, I don't have your other application
Yeah, it says
here.
possibly replace front entrance door style TBA in the application. Let me see if I can find
Possibly
it.
replace front entrance door style to be approved. So what is that style? It's 3 windows across with, I don't know, you can't tell me like panels there are on there. Because this storm doors. So it's just 3 across, 3 horizontal.
3 panels with 3 lights.
So would you put this door, Richard? Is this the door that you would replace?
Yes.
Just like it?
Yes, I'm gonna show
No,
you,
okay.
I'm gonna show you the door.
It just says to be determined. It didn't actually have,
It's, okay.
Yep.
That's the door that was approved,
oh, for the main house.
for the main house.
So 4, like vertical, a nice
Yeah,
little vertical,
it-
and 1 panel across the bottom.
Yeah, and I just mean, change it so it's not 4, it might just be the 2 over 0.
All right, so you have to give us that door.
Okay.
For us
Why
to-
don't you show that to everyone? So.
And this is the door that was approved, that we installed several years ago, was approved by the board.
Do you remember what year? I can probably look it up. I'm in the minutes.
It was like a year or so ago. It was
21?
like within a year or so.
Maybe it's a very nice. Another one.
It was another
Yeah.
one.
So
Oh, there were 2 applications. So you don't want to do that door, you want to do a different door?
I'm thinking a line of getting rid of the bottom one, or maybe even just use that door. I'm gonna talk to my contractor, but when I finalize it, I can send in the exact photo.
Okay, so we would like to approve you tonight.
Okay.
So you should make a decision, and so we can approve that. So then we
I'm
can
gonna-
move on.
Nope. Nope.
Otherwise, you
Okay.
have to go for a change.
Then she says she likes this door, she loves this door.
So that will match the front door?
Yes,
And we already approved that
you
door.
already approved this
So
door.
why don't you send me a picture of that, email it or text it to me, and I'll make it part of your application, and we'll write this up. Because we can't approve this without
The little
documentation of it.
Right.
Right, so again, I think we'll have to have the monitors, I mean, whatever specific door you choose, the monitors will have to sign off on.
Right. So you're not wedded to that, but you should like
It's sent.
work with us, yeah.
Okay, it's sent. And I still may leave that door on there.
Okay. But you
Okay.
might not change
I may
this.
not change
Well,
it.
you don't have to change it.
Right.
But you
I
have
just want-
permission to change it if you want.
That's all I need.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get this certificate signed off on, so we know what we're doing.
Right.
So can,
And
you
we
guys sign?
We should add this provision
And
that
the door?
that the door must be approved by monitors, because we,
That's fine.
I'll put this
Yeah.
on this
We should
page, 'cause
probably
this is the actual door.
Redo the vote,
Okay,
Redo the
so,
vote?
because we did not include the door in the original vote. It was all about the windows. So we should probably just redo the vote to include the door.
But I think you should say that the door is going to be the
consistent.
same door
Consistent.
that is in the main house.
Yep, if it gets changed.
It says, I'm looking
Yeah,
at,
right.
I'm looking at my application, it says possibly replace the front entrance door style TBA.
Well, instead of
My understanding was
TBD,
it
we
wasn't
can say
front door,
consistent with
side
the
door.
existing
Consistent,
front
yes,
door.
exactly.
Is it the front door of the house? The main house?
It's not the, it's
It's
the
the side door of
entrance
Oh,
of the
so
main
this-
house.
Side door of the main house.
Yeah.
What, is it west, is it east?
It's
What-
gonna be on the east driveway
the
side,
east?
east side.
Okay, existing east door of main house. Right?
on the east side of the cottage, but where's the door in the main house?
There's 2 doors in the main house.
Right.
One right on Main Road,
Yeah.
it's
Faces
10
east.
feet, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the other one is the side entrance, you'll see it, is the walkway coming up
So
from the
that
driveway.
would be the
It's
south side?
No, it's gonna be the east, you're right.
The
It is
south side.
South side, yeah.
Okay,
It is the south side, sorry.
okay.
Okay, I could just cross that out. Okay, so can we just repeat, what door are we
The door on the south
the
side
template.
of the property,
on, of the main
of
house?
the main house.
South elevation, main house. door with, what is it, 4 windows over,
2/2.
2/2 with a horizontal panel. Okay, I'll just have a picture of the door attached to match the front door of the cottage.
Correct.
All right, so let's sign off on this. It's kind of part
Let's,
of the.
let's, I
And
think
then we have
Katrina's
to
right,
vote.
that we should take another vote.
Yeah.
So do I hear a motion to approve the application as amended?
I still want it.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I
Okay, well, I think
second
Caroline moved.
You can go.
You can
I
second.
can second.
Okay.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote.
Katrina Strozak, aye.
Ward Mooney, aye.
Deborah Chialfi, aye.
Garrett Smith, aye.
William Kendall, aye.
Mark Thompson, aye.
Caroline Bolter, aye.
Okay, we're approved.
So
Thank you
Deb,
so
I'll
much.
send you a note on the monitors.
Perfect.
They
I think
were,
it's-
it was you and Bev Shook.
So can you take Bev's
Yep.
place on that for both?
Yep.
Okay, great. And can you sign off on the amendment?
And I guess we should probably go through and make sure that Bev is replaced on.
I did go through and I put myself in some of them where she was without me, and then I think some of them are closed out, so
Okay.
I'll go through it again and see if we need to add a monitor to Bev's project.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you're welcome to put me in there, we can do a stroll.
Do I need to sign off?
Can you just sign the bottom of this so we have your signature on the amendment piece? So here we go.
Richard, I didn't see the date on the little house. When was it built?
I think 1923. I think.
Do you think the aleatory approach to the windows was original?
I missed that.
But I've never seen a house so small with so many different types of windows.
I know, I haven't either.
How long have you lived in Westport?
Yeah.
End of argument.
No, I know, and I would have kept the windows, but they didn't open. It's just, there's nothing nicer than having the windows open in the spring and the fall and the summertime.
I love the fact that you're keeping it as differentiated as you are.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Okay,
Have a great
all
day.
set.
And we'll see you.
If you want to stick
Happy New
around and get
Year.
a lesson on doors, Bill is going to educate us about doors, so.
I'm gonna drive home to Boston. All right, see you.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Drive safely.
Thank you very much.
But I will watch it on, I tell you, I will watch it on the channel.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
See
Good night. All right,
Okay.
so I've got some handouts here for Bill.
Okay, well, let's see. No applications for CNAs?
No.
Is that correct? No preliminary reviews, general business, monitors reports.
On the monitors reports, I updated the schedule, and what I want to do is, as you said, make sure Beverly it doesn't have any remaining commitments. Katrina just volunteered to take over wherever
Mhm.
Beverly was, so we can continue that.
And is that document on?
It's on the Google Drive.
Okay, so maybe we can send a link to everybody
Oh,
so that everyone can check.
and also Caroline agreed to help do some monitoring too
Oh,
on the
great.
monitor reports. So we're gonna share the work to get everything
Great.
that was done in 25 updated, and maybe start fresh with a smaller number of properties to monitor.
Great, great. Yeah, and it would be nice to have that stuff available online.
Online, great.
So any of us can
So
check.
the updated report can be sent as a link.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Good.
Do you want to do that? It's called
Send-
delegate.
Send the link?
Send the link out to
Yeah,
the group?
yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have to, because you might be the only one to grant permissions.
It might be, yeah, except,
I'd like to. I think we both can. 'cause
Okay.
We
I
both
think
can
we're-
share
we're
the same
using-
drive,
yeah.
right? Because I
Right.
think we can both
Oh,
do
okay.
that.
using the historical commission town account.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Although, when I make a change, it has my name versus your name. So we do
Hmm.
have individualized
tracks us, yeah.
tracking. Yeah.
So clear log the maps. So, so email. Okay, so now we arrive at the highlight of the meeting.
Okay.
Presentation
Dun, dun, dun.
by William Kendall on exterior doors in the
Share this
historic
package
district.
when you start
Okay,
talking
so what
about
I'd like to do is, I have some pictures, and these photos have been sent to you online, but Deborah says they,
Not everyone could open them.
you couldn't open them, so
They were large files.
I wanted to get them to you before the meeting, but she has made copies here, and
I don't know where we are.
well, you've got copies there? Okay.
So the list of the door companies is among the copies, and then I just made, 2 on each page. So you
Okay.
have larger format ones though, so you should
I
just
do.
direct us which ones you want us to.
Yeah, okay, so what I have is, I'm going to talk about doors, exterior doors. I also like to talk about the concept of the raised panel, which is a style feature that the houses built in the 1700s have. And there's something here on door construction, and also the different companies that we can suggest to people that make these doors. Some of the doors are actual authentic reproductions. Others are, one is fiberglass, and then I have a drawing here that's also been sent to you of a very good new construction of the door. So one of the problems we have is that people come to us and they want to put in this door right here. And we have to reject this because it's either a metal door, one of those stamped metal doors that's stamped out of a piece of sheet metal, or it's fiberglass. But what's wrong with that door is the panels are too small. It's all to do with the proportion. Because they didn't make doors that way in the 1700s. This is a reproduction that is absolutely correct of a door made by one of these companies that make reproduction doors.
Look at the difference.
There.
This is the, let's see, which page?
So there's the
That's this
difference.
one.
And so I think when people come in, if we have these photos, we can show them why
Yeah.
we would not approve that door. I also have the third photo of what appears to be, what I think is actually a Thermo-Tru
This is the,
fiberglass door.
oh, that's the sort of maroon colored one.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you see, the moldings are a little different on that. They don't quite make it. I mean, they're not reproduction doors, but they are, that's a new material that is very durable and I think acceptable as
So
a
it's
substitute.
better than the stamped one, but
Oh,
not
absolutely.
quite as deep a groove as the true.
Well, and there's an extra molding on here
I
as
see.
well, but still, that fits into the Greek Revival period on other doors, so it's fine. And you notice that the panels are the right proportion.
Bill, can
And
you
that's-
see it? Because I don't think we have.
Yeah, they're there.
The
Yeah, it's the
magenta.
purple one. He's talking about the purple one now. You have it. It's on the same page as the orange door.
Okay, so.
Okay, so that we have approved that door before, but we have to be very careful to specify the right one because the company is Thermo-Tru and they make different series. And this series is the classic craft door, and it's their best, very good quality. And
Here.
so I think we can recommend that door.
That's good.
So that's Thermo-Tru.
That is
Now,
curious. I've never
we have
seen
another
a smaller
company.
panel.
Bill, is it clad? Is it a clad
Do
door,
I
like
see
a
it?
fiberglass, or what's the
I
outside
don't
of
know,
it?
it's got a core of something, and it's got insulation inside,
Yeah.
and then it's got this fiberglass coating on it, you know. it's-
Coating, so
Yeah,
it won't
I think it's
Need
probably
painting.
formed fiberglass,
So it
but,
never needs painting.
but it's the right proportion, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
And that's why we just cannot allow that first door that I showed you in the district,
Mhm.
it's really offensive.
And do you know, so I'd like to get the names of the manufacturers here. Is this, so this one, the first one you said was appropriate. which is.
Well, it's any of these people who make this
Yeah, he listed
architectural
out.
components.
Yeah, they're in the company
Cooper Works.
section.
Mhm,
I called Green Mountain Windows.
mhm,
These are the window companies, but they're also millworks,
Mhm.
so they make these doors.
mhm,
The other doors, a good one is Simpson. That's a standard door that you see.
mhm,
And now it's True Style.
mhm.
Now, this is True Style. Now, this is the latest thing. If you have you can look at the details there. This is the latest thing in doors. True Style is a company that is from, I think it's from Oregon. It's been around for a long time. And Marvin has just purchased this company.
Oh,
And they make a door that has a construction quite similar to some of the windows we've talked about. As you notice, it has a core of Akoya, which is that processed wood. And on the outside, there's a layer of Tricoya, which is a hardened version of Akoya that is really just laminated onto the surface. And you can see the construction of the panel and everything else. The molding is not quite correct here, but it's certainly acceptable, and the panel is raised enough. It isn't that metal door look.
stamp.
So that's the
And then
newest.
this gets painted, this door gets painted?
You
It
paint
says
yeah.
paintable, the painted
Oh, yeah,
applications?
you paint all of these doors.
Yeah.
And they hold the paint very well. Okay, now I have some materials I want to show you. Just to give you an idea of what these doors are about. Here is a door, piece of a door. 18th century.
Could you pass that around?
I'm going to pass it around, yeah. And a piece of this door here. That's some panels. It's very interesting. The exterior door is made the same way as the interior door. Absolutely the same way. So there's an interior door. This is an interior door. Now, the raised panel in the 18th century was the fashion. The houses that were built in England had raised panel walls everywhere. Now, when they got to this country, they also wanted to have raised panel. Now, prior to this, in the 1600s, they didn't. They had flat panels. And that was because they were Jacobean style. And they had a different vocabulary of moldings. This molding they did not use. That's an ovolo molding here. The ovolo that's always used on, that's the correct molding for that door. When you get into the early part of the 1700s, you start seeing this paneling appear in this country as the style changed. And the panel at first is very heavy right there. As you see, that panel sticks out. So the real reproduction door there has that heavier panel on it. Interesting enough, this is the original paint.
Oh.
Original
neat.
brown paint. Yeah. So that'd be like 1715. Then we have this panel, which is now not quite as raised and pronounced as that. But that is typical of 1750. So this paneling then, I want to show you, this is another photo I have. Oh, the construction of the door. This is the later panel. See that? It's not as pronounced.
After 1750?
This is probably 1780, or even getting closer up there.
They're getting flatter.
1800, they get flatter, and then eventually they become flat panels. And that would be up into the Federal period. This is Georgian colonial. Prior to that was Jacobean, and then we get up into Federal. And so the panel changes. Now,
What was the reason for the changes?
style, pure style. So you have a whole 100 years of raised panels. And I want to tell you, every house you went into in the 1750s had walls of this paneling. There it is right there. And look at it. Oh, wonderful. So in the district, there are walls of paneling. And that's what I'm talking about, trying to make sure people understand. You just don't take that out and throw it away. Now the doors, you see, are made the same way. Interior doors all match the paneling on the inside. Now in the 1750, you would find the fireplace wall, which is a feature wall. Now, right there, you can see there's the fireplace with all of the panels across the whole wall. Now, you would also find wainscoting, which is around like the chair rail wainscoting, all raised panel. And you would find interior panel shutters. They use shutters on the inside. So you got paneling all over. And this paneling was used upstairs in the bedrooms, all bedrooms, and downstairs, and wherever you had a fireplace wall. So you can go into these little capes around here and find this paneling. Simple farmhouses out in Westport will have this paneling. Now, here is an example of what is in, and I'll pass these around because these are, you have them there, but these are better photographs.
Yeah, yours are bigger.
This is in a house in Westport that's being renovated.
It's here.
The people are saving, this is upstairs in a bedroom. And you can see it has a little mantel shelf and a panel. Sometimes the bedrooms have even more formal paneling than the parlor, and even had cupboards, corner cupboards. Now, this is from the parlor of that same house. Now this is a very large panel,
Is that in a bedroom?
downstairs parlor.
Oh, Paula.
This is in Westport Point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere in Westport.
We have it.
Yeah, I think you have it there.
I think
but
he
it's
said
hard to
Westport,
see.
I don't know if
No,
it's
he
at
said
the point.
Westport. Don't
Yeah.
we're looking at it.
Yeah. So that is downstairs, and that's all original to the house. And often you would want to look underneath that, scrape some paint off of it, because often there were paintings under the. Be nice to see a ship painting in that. Be very nice, possibly. Those are the original fireplaces too. They've been preserved. Okay. I want to.
They're very
wait a
shallow,
minute.
those fireplaces are shallow. Didn't they worry about that wood paneling catching fire? I mean,
No, they didn't. They didn't worry about that. I have to show you one more thing before I forget here. The exterior door is made by taking an interior door, right, I have in my hand the interior, and sandwiching it together.
great insulation.
They would put, and you had all the wood is 7/8 of an inch thick, because all the wood is, see those marks? That's a water-powered saw. It goes up and down. All the wood was cut on a water-powered saw, and there were mills everywhere. And it was always cut to 1 inch thick and then planed down to 7/8. So you have a door that's not too thick. The exterior door is only that thick. And the way they put this together is that they would use a hand wrought nail. Of course, the nails are made by hand, and they have sharp points. And when you nail that in, you nail the two together, and then you bend it over on the back side. It's a clinched nail. And then it's so sharp you bend it into a little staple, and then you pound it down, and it goes right in. And if it's with the grain, it just goes right into the wood, and you don't even see it. So often you would have just plain boards on the back, or you would have panels on the back. I've seen most of them are just plain beaded boards on the back of the door.
The house I grew up in was built in 1720, and we had what they call a tomahawk door.
What,
as our front door.
yeah?
So the, it would, I don't even, based on what you've described, it must have been like pre-Jacobean, because the panels inside our home, they were just big slabs of wood. They weren't, there was no fancy
You mean it was just
milling.
boards?
It was just huge boards, like
Right.
tree trunks.
Sure.
The wood floors and the wood panels on the, and underneath was horsehair, but the panels were just these big slabs of wood. But the door, they called it a tomahawk door because the grain on the outside went this way. And then when they put the second door in, they put the grain in going the other way. So if the house was attacked in an Indian raid, the tomahawks wouldn't be able to get through the doors very easily. So they called it a tomahawk door.
Okay, so
I know.
Here
It was
is
built,
a house
I think it was built 11 years before the last Indian raid, so they were serious.
where was this?
I grew up in Rutland, Massachusetts.
Yeah, we don't have many of those earlier houses here because they were burned down, I guess. So this is about, 1750 or so. So in that same house, in the corner, the paneling is here, and then right here, you have a corner cupboard, and that's original, 18th century, about 1750. And you notice that it has pilasters. Pilasters, the fluted pilasters, very nice. Very, very delicate, very nice woodwork. Notice, if you look at your photos, the shelves are shaped and there's a barrel back in it.
And these are all in Westport.
Curved.
This is a recent renovation in Westport.
Which part of Westport?
Well, we know the house, but I don't think I could, I don't want to mention
Don't
the
say it
interiors.
on,
Yeah.
it's the point, or
Yeah,
is it?
on the point, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but if you look at this carefully, you will see that this pilaster has been cut off. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, why is that? Well, the houses were plank frame, which means that they simply had, and I have a photograph of that right here, plank frame. This is a house in Westport Point, and it has vertical planks. So they had no studs in the walls.
Right.
They just had those boards that were nailed down through the sill and up to the plate. And the shingles are applied on the outside of that. And on the inside, and I got a picture of this, and this is very important. That was on the inside. So that's how people lived. That's the original paint of
Wow.
decoration
Yeah,
from the 1850s or so.
that's
And
pretty
it's
neat.
done, looks to me like it's done with a pine cone.
Yeah,
Oh.
look at that. You
Yeah.
should definitely see a pine cone
Pine cone, for sure.
for decorative purposes. But
Yeah.
wasn't that
Yeah.
gonna get covered over anyway with more,
Hmm?
wasn't that eventually gonna get covered over on the inside, or they would leave
No,
that
they lived that
exposed?
way.
They leave that
Uh,
exposed.
Look, really,
Charming.
the plank frame house, all it is
That's great.
planks on,
You can see
and
through it.
shingles on the outside and boards on
Well,
the inside.
it's because the shingles on the outside were taken off.
Right.
And this unpainted board here, is that something that's been sistered later on?
Yeah, it's studs that have been put in later.
Yeah.
When it's been, they've studded the walls out. So as I was saying,
Shingles were on.
the reason the corner cupboard here got messed up and destroyed is because they studded the wall out and they had to cut the
Ugh,
pilaster.
what a shame, but understandable. Let me get some insulation in there.
When you stud out the wall, you lose a lot. You lose the sense of the framing too, the corner posts and everything else. And even the proportion of the room changes. So you don't like to have it studded out. You want the original plaster wall. So this kind of thing, there it is. And houses, that's what they look like on the inside. And sometimes they were very primitive. And I've seen this, actually, I had a house It was like this, but blank frame. And it had wallpaper on top of the boards. That's all it had. And so layers of wallpaper were on it. Not much insulation.
No.
So that's,
Caroline wants to see the picture.
okay.
We would like to.
Okay, here. Okay, I'm sorry, these pictures aren't very good, but you can see what, that's it. That's my discussion. Any questions?
Great.
That's
Okay.
really, really neat.
Presentation was excellent.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I love that we have the, you know, the doors so that if somebody, you know, I mean, not so much for you know, Richard's Cottage, but as other homes are, need new front doors, we have a good list that we can recommend, and you know, it's great, depending on the style of that home, like what year was that built, so we would guide them to that style.
There's one more thing. As we get up into the later 18th century, the focus becomes on the mantle. And so we have these beautiful mantles, and sometimes an overmantel piece. But then the paneling is out of fashion very quickly in the Federal period. A flat panel comes in, flat panel doors, moldings change, dental moldings and a lot of more delicate moldings, and a lot of plaster. And they would plaster over the panel walls. And so you go into many of these houses, you'd never know there's a panel wall underneath.
Wow.
You start probing and you pull off some lath that's nailed right to it, and you find beautiful paneling underneath.
Wow.
Wow.
Just felt, it was out of fashion, like that.
Wow.
Bill, how did you get into this? How did you get into this?
Oh, I'm an expert at this.
I would say so.
That's what I've done.
And how did you get these samples, these cuts
Well,
from over?
from the things that I collect these
He really is an expert.
from houses I've worked on and things.
But I am just the
Never
opposite.
throw anything out.
Curious.
Yeah, I used to not restore houses, but I taught architectural history and art. Basically, I'm a painter. So, but I also was interested in early American architecture, and so I started a company where I was, I would do the specifications on the historic restorations. So.
There's a company in Westport?
No, I lived in Bridgewater then by the college. I taught at Bridgewater State University.
That was a great presentation, thank you.
Yeah. Do you have a website?
Only for my painting. Yeah. Not for this.
No, I'd love to see the painting.
Oh, yeah, William Kendall paintings.
I know that
That's
really
it.
well.
And Bill, maybe I can work with you to get these digital photos.
Yeah.
I have one, Garrett. You sent them to me. Did you not get them?
Yeah, but they're not.
Not high enough res.
No, did you actually manage to open a photo
I opened all the ones, yeah. I mean, I was able
Thank
to
you for
open them.
coming.
Yeah.
and see them?
Yeah, I sent them around.
Yeah, I know you sent them
Yeah.
around, but I tried to open it and
Well-
and it told me that they're 2-part files. Do you have a really old Mac?
No, iPad.
I can send them to you. Yeah,
I just
I'll
photo-
just load them on the
I just sent
drive.
them to her from my iPad.
Yeah, I'll load them up on the
Oh.
drive.
Yeah, the
Those-
the doors are on the drive already.
Yeah, they're already on there.
Um,
The doors are on
The
drive.
doors are on the drive.
Well, I think it's
Okay.
I don't
important
see
to-
the interior ones,
The
but
zip
The zip
you-
file, I was able to open it,
Oh,
but the files that were in the zip file were not.
they weren't accessible once
They were half of a Apple double file.
Oh, no.
And they
So
did not
the
contain-
compression ruined them. Huh.
You mentioned
Or the other half might have been
wallpaper.
hidden and
Yeah.
didn't get
Ours-
incorporated
houses.
I
into the
did
file.
just the Apple
Yeah.
compression.
And
So
anyway,
I created some file. I'll
We'll
just
We'll work on it,
redo it.
because
Yeah.
it'd be nice to put some of
Was
these
I
on.
there?
Well, I
Yeah.
thought we
Yeah.
should have a folder on
I
the
think
drive
maybe
of
not.
all these kinds
That
of
was years ago
resources.
with, what's his
Maybe
name,
there's
Tripp.
a
Yeah,
website.
there is one on
Oh,
the
yeah.
drive.
You were,
For some reason,
drive.
you called me and wanted to
The
look at
drive.
it.
The drive.
All right, so let's.
But I'd like to
just
put
work
them on the
Time
website
passes.
where people can actually.
Maybe
I was on the
catalog.
yeah,
commission.
windows, doors,
So, it was
paint,
like 15
like whatever.
I've been on it
Yeah.
15 years. So.
could you get up to the second floor?
Disclaimer, we're not making.
Yeah, I think so.
There was a high Renaissance revival wallpaper on.
Okay.
Do you need a
on
motion
slats
Oh,
to
I
adjourn,
just
or-
want to say that, yeah, if you could do this with the photographs, because I think having them some kind of archive that keeps records of what is in the district, we haven't done that
Mhm.
with interiors, but I think something like that's really important, because, of course, that's covered up now,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's there.
Yep, yep.
cool.
Do you have any of your material on slides? It'd be great to have you do the Westport Historical Society.
Yeah, I just don't, I don't think I want to.
Okay.
I have a whole bunch of, yeah.
Any other topics? Okay, do I hear a motion?
Do you want to mention that date of our next meeting is not going to be Wednesday? it's
That's right.
Thursday?
It's Thursday, February 5th, in this room.
And it's in this room, and there's no one else in this room, as far as we know.
Officially, there's not.
Okay, great.
motion to adjourn?
Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Great meeting.
We are
I
adjourned.
would say this was a Westport